is like the strangest moment when you like hit the live button and just kind of seeing if everything goes out. And I think it did. I think we're here. Um, my mic looks a little low though, so I'm gonna go turn that up. Be right back. All right, all right, all right, all right. That looks better. If you're here, you're hanging with me, and that sounds better to you. Let me know. Um, I think we got like a minute before we like actually are officially at 9. So not that it matters a whole lot, but anyway, I'll just ramble for a little bit. One thing, okay, one thing that's always a little uh, just so one thing when you start getting lights and stuff like this in here, like lights are very nice. Like it really does a lot, to kind of make your skin look good. I guess I don't know much about skin or whatnot. I've never been good about taking care of my skin. Um, but like I swear, like when you have a light shining right at your hair and you got some, thinning hair going on, you squarely in middle age, it's not super fun to look at yourself in these things. So I always hate seeing the preview. But anyway, that is what it is. We're at 9 o'clock right now, so I figure I might as well stop talking about vanity. Um, so I just want to talk about what my hope is today. I got my let's see. Let me close this up. Just sent a tweet out. Um, Come on. Okay, so I want to talk about what my hope is today, and then I'll switch to the screen. So, um, Kent C. Dodds has this really awesome course called Epic React, and I've always wanted to kind of like go through some of the really amazing free online courses. And so it kind of made sense to just go through Kent's. Obviously, it is also a paid course, which has a lot of additional things, videos included, interviews, a lot of things that are valuable, but the content itself is available on GitHub. And so I'm a big fan of that approach. I like it a lot. And so I thought it'd be fun to start doing some streams where we go through some stuff that's freely available. So maybe some free code camp at some point or whatever. There's just so much good content out there. I wanted to start streaming it. So and also, I've never gone through this, and it's just a wealth of information. So I figure, you know, I've been doing React since, I mean, like, I'm trying to remember. Like, I think I wrote my first React component like in 2013. I just remember it was right around Christmas break. I was working in my garage assembling some type of like IKEA cabinet or something so I could put stuff off the floors and into the garage. And I was watching Pete Hunt's talk um, from a couple months previous, I think in October, on like shoot something the best practices one, rethinking best practices. Um, so I was listening to that, and like I was definitely a React naysayer up to that point, and I was listening to that talk and I was like, oh damn, like I have definitely struggled with these things. It's been a pain in the butt, and like I don't even build like extremely large applications. So the fact that Facebook is also going through these things, like it doesn't get better, um, it just really got me hooked. So uh, I remember it was probably during Christmas break of 2013, I think, that I wrote my first React component, which is, I mean, like my first React component. It was like literally just the demo component where you like make a counter or whatnot. And kind of funny enough, this is so rambly. Funny enough, I had there was a project that I was working on at the time where we were building some kind of transposer, and you had to make a selection of your key, and you would do it in steps. Like so, you would upload a copy of sheet music, and then you would move it up or down half steps. And so I actually needed that component, and ended up putting it in there. Wrote it in CoffeeScript, which was hilarious. Um, yeah, that's like say you're an old developer without saying you're an old developer. CoffeeScript, it's definitely it. So let's do this. Um, hey, what's up? Default, good to see you. Thanks for your comment the other day. I really appreciated it. And I think, did I see that you joined our Discord server too? I saw a default, so I assume that it's you. I haven't met any other defaults up to this point. So yeah. Yeah, Epic React is super good course. I really enjoyed it. Excited to see how you progress through it. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. I'm excited too. Um, yeah, my first React component. I know. I'm curious, like, if you're here, you're hanging out today. What was your first React component? Like, do you remember? I mean, I think man, if I looked through Twitter, I bet I could find it, but I posted a screenshot of it. It's horrifying. Like, I should probably resurface that because it's kind of fun to look back at what I was trying to do in CoffeeScript because we weren't using JSX. I don't think. I remember at the time, man. Now I'm going back through memory lane. Uh, Christopher, not Christopher Nolan, David Nolan was doing a lot of stuff with ClojureScript and React at the time, and so it kind of got me on this path of like, oh, well, like JSX looks kind of weird in CoffeeScript because CoffeeScript is this very like white space dependent language, and so like you kind of tab stuff in, and so it looked weird to like have everything be white space dependent and then have like this block of JSX, which is just like weird looking. So I would just use I would write my React JSX lists, and so we would just use. It wasn't create element at the time, but it was whatever the API at the time was. We would use that, and yeah, it was like React DOM. I don't remember. I'm not even gonna pretend to remember. Okay, neither here nor there. Let's get to the important stuff. So I'm gonna switch to screen here. Let's see. Yeah, my first React component was a create class. Oh man. Yep. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm on. Yes, I'm on the screen now. So so this is kind of I don't know, hedging my bets a little bit. So if you want to get to this resource. Let's see if I can open this up a little bit more. This resource is Kenzie Dodds, or it's on GitHub at kenzie.com/React Fundamentals. This is the thing that I'm going to be setting up and going through today. You can open it up as a Git pod. I didn't do that because I wanted to get it set up locally. And there are instructions for your system requirements here. Also, I'm trying a slightly different screen resolution today, so hopefully it works. Let me know. It's kind of in between like extra big and like serviceable where I can actually fit stuff on screen. So let me know if you need to zoom in or whatnot. Okay, so yeah, so you can open up in Gitpod. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I'll try it a little bit later. And then I have set this up. I set this up last night. And I set it up last night because I have had experiences in the past where I wanted to stream something and something was broken in my desktop environment. And then I just spent the whole hour and a half fiddling with Node in my environment. And that's not fun for everybody. It's not fun for me. It's stressful. So I got this all set up last night. And yeah, all of these instructions worked. So you just do you get your Git version, your Node version, your npm version. Make sure that they are using a compatible version. And then if not, you got to set that up. Now let's see. So if I scroll back here, I can kind of show you. So when I first ran Node setup, I didn't actually check first. I was just like, whatever, let it ride. I'm sure it's fine. So I didn't check, and I had an older version of npm. So I'm using Volta. So the way that looked was I did, what was it? Volta install, and I just told it 18. I think, yeah, Volta. Nope, that was a failed command. Yeah, Volta install node at 18, right? And then it told me that if I want to have the right npm, I'm going to do Volta install npm bundled, and then that will give me the latest version that comes with the version of node that I installed. So anyway, if you find yourself in that situation and you use Volta, this is how I worked it out. I'm now on all the right versions. Then I just ran node setup, and everything seemed to work. So that's great. Um, and yeah, everything tests fine. And so this is where I left it last night. I didn't intentionally not put my email in here. I don't know what happens if I put my email in here, but I just I ran this and then I had to leave my co-working space because they were closing. So it just timed out. That said, here we are. Here we are now. Let's see here. What do we got? Awesome. Screen resolution looks good. Thanks, default. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, so we have the Git repository here. And so then let's see. So we ran node. I ran node setup. If you can't get the setup script to work, okay. So we did get the setup script to work, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, cool. So it looks like we can go to running the app, which would just go with node or npm start. And actually, let me open this up in an editor first. npm start. Oh, this is sick. Okay, cool. So let's just go through this real quick. Okay, so React fundamentals, we have this like progression bar through this, which is cool. I'm gonna click on this and see what happens. Okay, so we have this full kind of like exercise area that we can kind of open isolated page. So exercise 1, final, extra credit. Okay, so we're gonna run through this exercise. I'm not exactly sure yet where I'm gonna make my changes, so might have to read through something. I think this is probably where like the actual like course comes into play. I think that there's some instructions on how to actually like navigate this. So I'm doing it on hard mode right now. Let's see. I was just on, I can close Twitter. React fundamentals. There we go. Let's put these next to each other. Okay. So let's see. Should start up a browser if you're familiar with this. Is standard React scripts application. Okay, React scripts, which is what's used for create React app, but it's its own thing. So you can kind of build your own little app builder on it. You can also open the deployment of the app to nullify. Okay, npm test. Running tests, start jest in watch mode, read the output, okay. Play around. The tests are there to help you reach the final version. However, sometimes you can accomplish the task and the tests still fail if you implement things differently than I do in my solution. So don't look at them as a complete authority. Okay, good to know. The purpose of this exercise is, so what do we have? We have exercise 0, exercise 0 with emojis help. Okay. Final version with extra credit. The purpose of this exercise is not that you work through all the material. It's intended to get your brain thinking about the right questions to ask as I walk through the material. Okay. Helpful emojis. So there's an emoji key. I'm not going to go through all these, but I may reference them depending on if I have questions or whatnot. Okay, so let's go back to what do we have here? Nope. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so basic JavaScript rendered hello world. Elaborate on your learning here. Exercise. Okay, so did I skip an exercise? I think I did. Nope, I didn't. Exercise. Okay, so orienting here. So if we go here, it has the lesson and okay. has the lesson with the exercise in the final version right here. Okay, cool. And then if I go to either one of these, it opens up kind of a full screen of each. This is the composed one. Okay, got it. Okay, so I am going to open up a code editor. Okay, recommending IntelliCode. Sure, why not? I assume that that was in the workspace. I don't see one though. A lot of times this is like a, what is it? Oh no, it is VS Code, extensions, Debalmer, ESBenP. Okay, so there's a couple extensions, and then these are settings. Okay, cool, pretty nice. I actually really like this. I've been a fan of this kind of approach, like when you're setting up a repo. Oh, hair getting caught in the microphone. That's gross. This approach where it's like you kind of fully like communicate the environment, so it's a lot easier to like. So as people are following along, they see similar, if not identical, things. Okay, that's installed. Okay, so let's open this up. So we have source. These are our tests. 7.6. Okay, so this is the whole thing, and we're not at these lessons yet. So I'm going to ignore those until we get to 5. Exercises, final. So we have an index. What's this one doing? So cogent. I have no idea what that does. Cogent. Okay. Kent's a lot smarter than me, so there's a lot of cool stuff happening in here. But let's go to exercise. We'll go to exercise 1 HTML and kind of read through this. Okay, basic. Okay, so this is all commented out. Let me see. I think this is my part right here. So if I just do an H1 with hi, does that? Yeah, killer. Okay, so this is this. And if I open up, well, I don't want to go to the final yet because I want to, figure it out. Okay, so basic JavaScript rendered HTML hello world. This is going to be okay. So we have the URL, which I assume matches here. Oh no, that would be the isolated one. Yeah. Just double check. If I open up the isolated one and go here, yeah, isolated exercise 1. Okay. Okay, so create in HTML a body with a div with the ID of root. Okay, so I'm curious what markup exists here already. So I assume this is like an iframe. Yeah, so we have an HTML. Okay, so all that stuff is set up for us already. So I'm just going to put a body, let's say div ID root. Okay, then create a script type module for the JavaScript. Okay, some helpful links here. Sweet. Let's see, would I put this inside the body if I don't have a head tag? Whoops. Scripts type. Ugh. Good gracious. Okay, script type module for your JavaScript. Yes. This next instruction are to be written in JavaScript in the script tag. Create a div. Document.create element div. Okay, let me move this over a little bit. What are we doing? Okay, so let's see. Document.create element div. Okay. Set the div's text content to hello world and class name to container. Okay. So I guess we need to, let's see. So let div, my div equals, so then we'll do my div dot text content equals dot dot dot. Okay. Chan is awesome. Okay. Now append the div to the root div using append. Okay. So document.get element by ID. Root. Let's say let document root dot append. Using append or append child? Looks like append. And then we'll give it my div. This file isn't formatting, which is interesting. Oh, probably because it's formatting for HTML, not JavaScript in the script tag. Yeah, you know, I'm a semicolons person, so sue me. Okay, cool. So Chan is awesome. So we did all the steps, 1, 2, 3. And then the final should look like this. Now this is kind of interesting, right? Because it says this is lesson 1. Final solution. This is to do this, but I'm kind of curious. Let's see. So I'm curious if we'll get there because like in this one, for exercise 1, we have a solution of hello world, but we're just kind of putting stuff in here. Oh, wait. So the div text constant to hello world and class name and container. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, I didn't do the class name. Let's see. So my div dot class name equal container. Was that it? Yeah. Container hello. See, I got to read instructions, not just look at this nonsense. Can't skip ahead. Okay, cool. I think that's right. Okay, so if I save that, then my exercise should match the final. And if we go in here, what do we got? Yeah, container. And then container? Voice crack. Container? Perpetual puberty. It's the name of my next podcast. Oh, hey, what's up, Rook? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Yes, I'm going through Kent C. Dodd's Epic React course from the very beginning. So we're just kind of doing every single step of it. So yeah, so should be fun. Just want to kind of, do a few more, courses of all the, free awesome content that's out there. Okay, cool. So we got that working. And I think, what's this? What's this? Okay, enable dev tools by default. Interesting. Request failure percentage, request min time, request variable time. Okay, I don't know what this means. I'm sure I will know at some point, but handy to know that it's down there. Extra credit, generate the root. Okay, so let's jump into, so that was exercise 1. Let's see, markdown. So that was our HTML, which showed up over here. This is the part of this. Oh gosh. So I was reading the comments, but duh, there's like a whole exercise. It doesn't take long to learn how to make hello world appear on the page. Is right. Okay. Yep. Browser document object model. Yes. Yes. You just go. People were generating HTML on the server and then adding JavaScript on top of it. Okay. Cool. 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 Exercise. Final. Okay, so it's important to have a basic understanding of how to generate and interact with a DOM. Yep. Okay, extra credit. Generate the root node. production deploy. Rather than having the root node in the HTML, see if you can create that one using JavaScript as well. Okay. Let's see. So extra credit. So this isn't like a great idea, but we could use, what is it? There's a document.body. I think we can just grab that. We don't necessarily need to add an ID to our body if we can just grab it. So let's try that. Now, okay, so this is kind of problematic though, because if I have this in my script and I replace the whole body, then it's going to replace the script as well, I think. Interesting. So how do we, can you like prepend a child? Let's see, DOM prepend child. Element prepend inserts a set of node objects or string objects before the first child of the element, string object, or insert as equivalent text node. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so so this is our hello world node. I want to set up another one for our root node. Okay. We use document dot create element body. Nope. Div. And then what do we do? Let root div equals, and then root div dot. Okay, how are we going to do this? Okay, root div. It's been so long since I've written DOM. Okay, let's see, root div dot append child my div. Okay, now I need to move this down here because I need to have my div to append it. So append child, and then we're going to do document.body dot prepend root div. Now I might want to break that up into different steps, but let's try this. Let's see how we did. Oh wait, is there an extra credit? No, this is just it's all in one, I think. Yeah, exercise. Yeah, okay, cool. Wasn't expecting to have to write DOM. It's kind of fun, I guess. Okay, so if I save this, did I save this? And is it still working? Let me do one thing. So root div dot class name equals yo. Just so I can be sure that I'm getting this came through. Okay. Oh, so what I want to do is root div.id, equals root. Okay. I'm going to make this Groot because theoretically it should still work because I'm not actually targeting that root ID to append the other element. So let's see if that worked. Okay, yes, so Groot, and we're getting the hello world with container because I'm just like attaching it all together. I'm not sure if this is preferred, but I think let's see. So let's do something else. So we have So this is an isolated thing. And then, okay, so I'm gonna say, let's flip these up a little bit. So I'm gonna put this in there first, and then I'm gonna use that same document.get element by ID. Root.append. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so let's see where we're at. This is fun. Okay, so body Groot, but we didn't get, okay, so, oh, right, because it's Groot now. Didn't seem to fix it. Okay, get element by ID, Groot. Groot is definitely in there. Interesting. So I don't know much about DOM. I assume that these are like synchronous. So I can put this element in there and then do this. Let's try something. I think I did that right. HTML, body, still not getting in there. So I think I'm just doing something wrong. Get element by ID. Oh, duh. Good Lord. Stupid. Okay, cool. I was using I was doing the like query selector version. So like this could be was it query selector and then do the pound. And so if I did it that way, I think this would work now. Oops. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I'm using query selector now. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I think that we got the extra credit. Let's see. It's kind of hard to know. Let's see. So let's look at so these are the exercises. Let's look at the final. So final one was this. So we have, okay, so we did this right. We put it in the body. We have a type module. Root element, yes. Element, yes. Named things differently, that's fine. Yes, and then we did append. Great. Okay, so this next one, what does this look like? So root element, so we're going to create that element, no problem. Okay, so we set attribute. I called it directly, so set attribute is probably better. Document append. Okay. Oh, so I guess it would just put the body, yeah, after that. So let's see. And so then what happens here? So we create that element and then we just append it to the root element. So yeah, so this is like the first version that we did before I kind of restructured it to look like, you know, the other way around. Let's open that up. Doop-de-doop, iframe document. Body, yeah, okay, cool. So it puts it after that, which is to be expected with append. I was thinking about like, so if I did the reason I was kind of like freaking out is because like if I do document.body and then just say equals, that's another way that I could do it. But if I did that, then it would blow away everything else in there. But append will put it after that script node, which is fine. Okay, cool. So that's what, lesson 1, right? Yeah, lesson 1, we did it. Cool. Let's go to lesson 2. Let's see, anything that, rather than having the root node, okay, so we did that. Fill out the feedback form. Okay, I'm not going to fill out the feedback form right now. Don't need to do that. Okay, elaborate on your learnings in source exercise 2 background. React is the most widely used front-end framework in the world, and it's using the same APIs that you're using when you create DOM nodes. In fact, here's what happens in the React source code at the time of this writing. So where does this take me? Okay, DOM element, owner document dot create element type. Oh, cool. Nice. Good call out, Kent. I like that. Uh, React abstracts away the imperative browser API from you to give you a much more declarative API to work with. Learn more about the difference between these two concepts here, imperative versus declarative. Cool. This is a UI.dev post. Nice. Spreading the love, abundance mindset. I love it. One important thing to know about React is that it supports multiple platforms, for example, native and web. Each of these platforms has its own code necessary for interacting with that platform. And then there's shared code between the platforms. With that in mind, you need two JavaScript files to write React applications for the web. Okay, so we're going to have a React and React DOM responsible for creating React elements, kind of like document.createElement, responsible for rendering React elements, kind of like root.append. Okay, cool. Production deploys. Okay, exercise. Okay, so let's convert this to use React, but don't worry, we won't be doing any JSX just yet. You're going to use raw React APIs here. In modern applications, you'll get React DOM files from a package registry. Yep. For the first, okay, got it. Here's a simple example of the API. Okay, what do we got here? Element props ID, element ID. So that's just a string. Children, hello world. Great. Okay, so here's a simple example of the API. Const element type h1 react const react element equals react dot create element of the element type here, and the element props here. Okay. Create root equals react dom dot create root element root dot render. Okay, perfect. Now, prior to React version 18, the API was react dom dot render, and that's what you'll see in the Epic React Dev videos. This material has been updated, so you'll want to use the React dom create root API as demonstrated above. All right, let's do that. Okay, so this is interesting because what do we have in here? Markdown 2 v18 to do. Let's see. Okay, so that. Okay, so what are we going to do now? So, all right, let's do this. Okay, so now we need to use React to do this. And if we open up 2.markdown, so what do we have? So we have our root div, add React and React DOM on this page. Here are script tags. Close that. Also, just something that bugs me. To open the sidebar in VS Code, it's Command B. That's the default. It's Command B. To open and close it in Arc, it's Command S for sidebar, which is actually really irritating because it collides with kind of something like Notion, which is capturing Command S to like pretend like it's not auto saving your stuff all the time, and just be like, oh yeah, we saved it. I find that really frustrating. I wish I could configure it to be Command B because I'm always switching and finding myself very irritated. Yeah, neither here nor there. So I think we can just copy these out, and now those should load on the page. Let's validate that. Oh, this network tab may be kind of cluttered with all of the other stuff that's happening. But Yeah, React development and yeah. So if we go to headers, unpackage. So those are there now. Keel. Um, great. So we got those in. Create root document. Okay. So you're going to implement this code using React. So go ahead and delete the implementation or comment it out for now. These 3 lines are similar. Okay. Okay, so what do we, or I guess let's do it by the lines that we're changing. Okay, so we have, so these are global, right? So we have React dot create element. That element will be H1. I mean, this is this is always kind of interesting because like for me, I kind of like to inline this stuff. I don't like to have a lot of extraneous variables all over the place, unless they're pulling double duty for me. But you know, it is what it is. Um, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so last time I checked, I couldn't remap it. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna open up my settings and hopefully I don't like. Here, wait. I'm gonna put these over the side. Don't want to. Ain't trying to dox myself. So do you know where that setting is? This is like sidebar. Okay, hide and oh my gosh. Okay, so last I checked, I don't think this was available for map. No, wait. Can I map it? Yeah, I so okay, do I have to do I have to take bookmark out? Yeah, I don't know. So okay, so maybe I'm missing something, but I can't figure out how, oh, maybe remove. Do I need to remove shortcut? And then let's see. I'm in shortcuts. Reveal hide sidebar. Yeah, so I have that, but then all I'm seeing is like use both, prefer arc, prefer websites. I'm a little bit nervous about removing the shortcut, but I guess maybe that's how I reset it up again. Um, let's see. Let's try it. Well, okay. So then reset shortcut to default. Okay. now we're in now we're just in arc land. Yeah, I can't do anything here. So I'm clicking, double tapping. I don't yeah. Can't seem to get anything. Remove shortcut, extend. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into it a little bit more because yeah, having it on B would be amazing, but I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Not getting anything when I click it, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go back to this. So what do we have? So class name will be container. Let's just stick with what we have, not necessarily what's in the lesson. And children, was it? Is hello world. Okay, so let's see. What did this lesson talk about? Okay, ID, yeah, and then yeah, children, hello world app. What the heck? I'll just change this to element ID just to be thorough. Okay, and then okay, so we did that. Yada yada yada. Create root. So then we use React dom.create. Wait, no, I did that wrong. React dom.create root. And let's see, does this use create? Yeah, create root. Create root. What is this? Man, it's so funny because like you really don't write a lot of this stuff as a kind of modern React developer, because the framework does all this stuff. Like, inevitably you're going to use some kind of framework, and so like the amount of time that you actually use these particular APIs is really funny. Okay, so what was I doing? Document dot get element by ID root. I'm not going to make that same mistake that I made before. And then what do we do here? I can never remember the name of that API. So render. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Can we call it right on it? I can't remember. Render. Gotta make this. Let my element, and then render my element. What? I think. No, definitely not. What's up, Arthur? Good to see you. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. Let's see. When you click the shortcut, it's faint, but you can press the keyboard shortcut you want. Man, if so, this is peculiar UI. Well, now I can't even open the settings page. I must have it open somewhere else. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again. Let's try it. Oh, no, sidebar. What? Something is goofed. Can't type anything in here anymore. Oh man, Arc just gave up the ghost. Fun times. Okay, there we go again. Shortcuts. Uh, and then sidebar. Okay, working again. Okay. Oh, weird. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. Real quick aside. So I use an alternate keyboard layout called Dvorak. And there's a bunch of different keyboard layouts that you could use. I think if I was switching today, I'd probably use Colmac. Um, that's kind of a thing all on its own. But I use Dvorak. It's a totally different keyboard layout, and it's funny because when you're doing stuff like this, like setting up keyboard shortcuts, you can kind of tell how the developer implemented it. Like if they're getting the key code or whatever. Because you'll have like these really weird things happen right now. So like right now, my B is actually the N key on a QWERTY keyboard, and so it's registering as N and not B. So I don't know. Let's see. So I think I need to set this as B. No, man, it just won't even. It won't let me do anything. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not doing this anymore. Default, thank you for showing me how to do it. That is extremely subtle, so that's like kind of funny. Uh, let's see. Um, oh shoot, what did I do? Yeah, so that is like extremely subtle. Let's go back to this. Uh, no, not derailing at all. I really wanted to figure it out, and so I appreciate you showing me because like I did not notice the subtle difference there that would suggest that I could do that. But now I've like fully now I can't open it with Command S, so that's super exciting. All right, where are we? Where are we? Doop 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 doop. Um, all right. Yeah. Who needs JSX? Honestly, a long time ago, I think I should pull it up somewhere. I wrote this really long post because we were using CoffeeScript at the time. I wrote this really long post about how we really didn't need JSX because we were using CoffeeScript and it was kind of like a weird mismatch. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I still think, like, given the parameters of the situation we were in, I agree with that. But it is kind of funny how, like, you know, nobody writes CoffeeScript anymore, and so JavaScript got really good in the meantime, which is really cool to see that we just kind of started writing a lot of that stuff made its way into JavaScript, and like everyone kind of got on board with builders. Like, I think Babel was a really interesting thing that happened, but really before that, it was like CoffeeScript was really this thing that kind of paved the way, which is cool, 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 cool. Let's see. No one was writing, like, no one was using a compile step in JavaScript before CoffeeScript, at least as far as I knew. I was pretty new to the world at the time, though. Okay, so we haven't actually gotten this yet, or I haven't actually gotten this yet. Let's see what we are doing wrong. Okay, so I think that I might need to set this up as, I don't think I can call it right afterwards. Maybe not. Maybe that's what it is. So let root equals, okay, and then I think, let's see, so React element is this one, which is, yes, we're calling create element. So that's my element. Everything should be mapped up correctly, but I'm not seeing anything. Okay, and that is because, no, I do. So I have this. Am I getting the ID correctly? Create root. Let's pull this out as a different step. So let root equal document dot get element by ID root. So we're gonna have DOM root, React root, React root, render element. Create React DOM dot create root. This is so, man. I hate getting stuck on silly stuff like this. Let's see where we're at. HTML, headers, div, ID root. Okay, so, but we're not appending anything to it. Do logs come through if we're in an iframe? Let's see. My element. React.create. Create. Stupid. Oh, man. This is why TypeScript is winning. This right here. This nonsense. This create nonsense. I'm so angry right now. So angry. Sorry. So frustrated. Man, honestly, I thought we were going to get through a lot more in the like about an hour and a half that I have, but no. Yeah. Create. Black. Okay. We're done. Water under the bridge. That the mistake is done now. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so see if you figure out how to. Okay, so nesting elements. So create extra credit. 100% nesting elements. Okay. Okay. So we did this. See if you can figure out how to write the JavaScript plus React code to generate this DOM output. Okay, okay, okay. JavaScript. Okay, the JavaScript React code generate this output. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so we have children of Hello World right now, and so this is this right here. This is where my uh, this is where my skills as writing all of this stuff in CoffeeScript for years will shine. We're gonna do an array and do React create element here. What is this? Two spans? Yeah. Okay. Span. Oops. What is it? Hello and world. Man, such a bad short-term memory here. Hello. Nope. React create element. Create element span world. Good Lord. God save us. Okay, so hello world. Oh no, it didn't work. Why didn't that work? Invalid attribute name 2 at span. What? Okay, so create element. So I'm spelling all of those correctly, right? So oh right. Yeah, I meant to do it like this. This is the one thing that is kind of a little bit weird, or one thing that I think would be nice, I guess maybe. So React makes no concessions here. Like it would be, I honestly have kind of always felt like if you were writing React directly, which nobody does anymore, but if you were, if this second, because you can't pass an object as children anyway, right? And so if this were like, you know, string, or sorry, as, yeah. So if this is not an object, basically just passed along as children. Um, I don't know, whatever. That ship has sailed, but it would be nice, I think. I know it's a little bit like magic or whatever, but like just having to write nodes that like always have null or empty object or like a, you know, new object in there is just kind of silly. But again, we don't because we write JSX, so not worried about it. Okay, cool. Ooh, okay. So we got this warning on the key. So yeah, so I would need to do keys here. And I think these can just be anything that's unique, and that error goes away. Right? Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, alrighty. Let's see what that output was, or what the final is. Right? I want to see how we did. Okay, so the final for this was to, yes, we import those things. Great. Create a root, an element. Now this says container. The example said element ID, but whatever. React create root element. Okay, cool. Awesome. I think we did that. Now actually, okay, so he does just call render right on it. So that wasn't the problem that we had. It was just the fact that I said create element, which is my bad, and I give myself grace for. Yo, what's up? Zach Jones, good to see you. Glad you're here. Always a pleasure. How you doing? What's going on? Let's see. Who's Cree? And what did he eat? Oh. Okay, so what do we got? Oh yeah. Okay, where were we? What I want to do was just see. Yes. Okay. Cool. Oh, interesting. So he has a space in here. Oh yeah. I honestly didn't even notice with the kerning as it is. That. So yes. So we would need a space in between these. Cool that we can just put a space in there. That's actually a really interesting call out. Yeah, right. Because like children could just be like they can be any. It could be a string or an element. So we can one of the children is just a string. I'm curious how. I think now that just represents as a string, whereas before it would put a span around it. Yeah. So um, I know in previous iteration, I mean like way old iterations of React, there would be some kind of span around that space, but it's not. Okay, cool. So I think that we did okay. I wonder, yeah, I have a little bit more time. We could probably do number 3 and get through this, or at least get through number 3. Let me change. I feel like this solution, though. Let's see, what is it? Not this one. Yeah, this solution. I don't know if it's following the ins the instructions. That should be element ID, I think. Nope, not that one. Good gracious. Extra container, right? Because we have, I don't know. I'm taking notes because I mean, like, if I have time, I may add these as a pull request just to kind of like tidy up some maybe like loose ends or whatnot. Okay, so we have, yeah, so that should be element ID if we're following these instructions right here. I'm curious what that looks like here in the 2 example. Yeah, so I don't think there was. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the desired outcome is because here it says like container as well. Like, should that be element ID? Let's see. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, cool. Let's go to number 3. We got a little bit more time and then we'll call it quits for today. Okay, so so we did this. So let's go to using JSX. I'm going to close this up. So elaborate on your learnings here in exercise 3 Markdown. Your notes. Okay, cool. So, oh, gotcha. Yeah, so I can add my notes. That's pretty cool. Nice. I like that. Okay, so background. JSX is more intuitive than the Raw React API, and it's easier to understand when reading this code. It's really simple HTML like syntactic sugar on top of Raw React APIs. So const UI equals h1 ID greeting yada yada. That is going to compile to this stuff, which we were writing just a second ago. Because JSX is not actually JavaScript, you have to convert it using something called a code compiler. Babel is one such tool. Pro tip, if you'd like to see how JSX get compiled to JavaScript, check out the online Babel REPL here. Another tool for this is going to be TypeScript. That is another option that you could use to compile JSX. So if you can train your brain to look at JSX and see the compiled version of that code, you'll be much more effective at reading and using it. I strongly recommend you give this some intentional practice. Yes, I completely agree with this, actually. I think that this is true. So many of the patterns in React, like higher order components, render props. Like I know those aren't popular patterns anymore. I think hooks kind of removed a lot of those like kind of applicate or like developer land patterns. However, those come from a deep understanding of what React's doing under the hood. And so like if you kind of just saw them as HTML, even context, right? Like if you just see those things as HTML, it's really hard to understand exactly what they're doing. There is a big important difference between like JSX and HTML. So yeah. Production deploys, exercise final. Normally, you'll compile all of your code at build time before you ship your application to the browser. But because Babel is written in JavaScript, you can actually run it in the browser to compile our code on the fly. And that's what we will do in this exercise. So we'll include a script tag for Babel Interesting. Okay. So Arthur says, for a few months while learning React, I used to manually convert JSX to React functions because, oh, my head's in the way, um, because I'm a boomer and wanted to have no compiler steps. Yeah, no, same. Yeah, I definitely had that feeling of like, oh, this is the correct way to do it. Like, some type of like morality in doing something harder. Um, Not missing those times. Agreed. Agreed. We'll include a script tag for Babel. Then we'll update our own script tag to tell Babel to compile it for us on the fly. When we're done, we should notice the compiled version of the code appears in head for DOM, which inspect developer tools. Okay, cool. Interpolate class name and children. Okay, so interpolation is defined as the insertion of something of a different nature into something else. Interpolation. Okay. Let's take template literals for example. Const greeting sup. Const subject world sup world. Nice. Chuckle. Const message equals. Okay, so we are interpolating. Let's take template literals for example. Okay. See if you can figure out how to extract the class name, container, and children hello world to variables and interpolate them in the JSX. Okay, see if you can figure out how to extract the class name, container, and children, interpolate them into JSX. Okay, so we have const container, okay. Element class name equals, how do I make this work? Okay, oh, gotcha. Okay, so I need to do, okay, I'm just gonna copy these because we're kind of running short on time. No point in just watching me retype what's already there. If we can jump to an exercise. So what do we have here? So we have this. So on the script tag, change this module to text, text Babel. Okay, cool. So now we have Babel working for us just in time. Re-implement this using JSX. Okay, so let's see. So this const element equals what was it? Div class name equals container. Hello world. Let's just do that to make sure that we see the change. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Text Babel. Did I get that part right? Type text Babel. Yes. Do I need to reload this? What am I doing wrong? I know I'm doing something very obvious wrong. If you see it, let me know. Const element equals div class name container hello world create element. Okay, so this should be doing a create element div for me, right? Yes. Okay. That's how we apply class name. Okay, cool. Okay, so why is this not working? Why is it not working? This isn't even the exercise, so I'm kind of confused as to why I can't see what I'm supposed to be seeing. Body, root, got this text Babel. Is there a part of this that I missed? Like, is this all executing? Huh. Let's see. I think you need to label the script tag. It's in the comments. Okay. Okay, so on script tag above, change type module to type. So Bab. Oh, oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you, default. Appreciate it. Good gracious. All right. Yep. Skipping steps. Skipping steps. Always skipping steps. This one here. Okay, cool. Gotcha. So we see our hello world, which works. Great. Okay, so now the assignment part of this is how do we interpolate values? So we're gonna have these here, and we'll put those in there. How do we then add them here? And we're gonna use these single curlies for class name, and then the same for children here, and that should work. Let's change that to, yep, okay, cool. Getting the thing that we want to be getting, which is great. Okay. And then, I mean, again, we could kind of take this further and take this example, paste that in, and say the message we want is sup world, which is going to be message. Great. Or we could just take that, delete that. Great. Okay, cool. Okay. Yep. Got to do every step. That is the truth. And I have to learn that lesson several times a day. Okay. Doop. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. I think that's good. And then another thing, I don't know if this is the extra credit, but like another thing we can do is we can, and I don't know, this is kind of wacky at this point, but another thing we do is just spread all these out, right? Like, what would that look like? It's kind of weird in this place because we'd have to create a new object and then spread things out over that. But that should work, right? No? What have I done? Oh, no, wait. This is interpolating. And then we have to... Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, I just put it in the wrong place. Children. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Awesome. This is nonsensical at this point, but I don't know. Felt like doing it. Okay, so did we get to extra credit? Okay, so we did that. So the React docs for JSX are pretty good. Here are a few sections in particular interest for this extra credit. Okay, cool. Spread props. Okay. What if I have an object of props that I want applied to the div like this? Okay, awesome. Look at that. Ahead of the extra credit. Look at me. Okay, so how do I apply this? If you're doing raw React APIs, it would look like this, props. Or it could also be written like this. Nice, yes. So this is kind of implying what the solution would have to be in this case, which we did. Great. Obviously, it would look better if it was in an object of its own and we were just spreading that object out. But let's see what the solutions have to say. So extra credit, so wait, 3. What do we have? Okay, so we're installing Babel. Again, thank you, default, for making that code work. Yes, and we have that. So now we're using JSX. It's so funny. I mean, it's been so long since I've done any of this stuff. A little bit more room here. Development, unpackage, Babel, hello world. Yes, so we're doing that, interpolating those values out. Extra credit number 2. What are we doing here? Okay, yeah. So he makes an intermediate object with those values inside of it, and then does the spread props on that, which clearly looks nicer than the inline object. Okay, cool. I could probably go number 4. Why not? Um, yeah. In sorry, back to this. Thanks for hanging out with me and doing this. So, not just doing it alone. Hopefully, getting some out of this. If nothing else, I appreciate you being here and hanging out. All right, back to the code. Uh, let's see. Okay, what are we doing here? So this is exercise number 4. Let's pull that up. Let's close all these. Exercise number 4 is right here. Creating custom elements. I'm going to try not to skip any steps this time. Okay, so elaborate on your learning custom elements background. Okay, so just like in regular JavaScript, you often want to share code, which you do using functions. If you want to share JSX, you can do that as well. In React, we call these functions components, and they have some special properties. Components are basically functions which return something that is renderable. More React elements, strings, null, numbers, etc. Okay, exercise. Let's say the DOM we want to generate is like this. So we have a div with a class container, 2 divs inside, each with a class message, hello world and goodbye world. Goodbye world. In this case, it would be cool if we could reduce the duplication for creating the React element for this. So div class name message children. Oh, yes. Okay. So we're just going to have like a component that does a message and then we give it children. So we need to make a function which accepts an object argument with a children property and returns the React element. Then we can implement a call to that function in JSX. I said we, and that was not right. Okay, div message children. Okay, this is how we write custom React components, but this is important for you to understand them. Oh, wait, this is not how we write custom React components, but we'll get the custom components in the extra credit. Interesting. So I'm actually not sure how to write it this way. So this will be interesting. Let's change it. Okay, so make a function called message, which returns the JSX we want to share. Use that function in place of the divs below. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change this. And then that should be the example that we're going towards. This should break. Okay. Function message. Is that what this is? We're going to take an object with children. Where are my children? We will return. No, we don't need to return an array. We need to return what is the JSX. So it's going to be a div. I guess I have that in my example. No, I deleted it. Okay, so nope. Okay, return div class name message and children. Okay, did we get it? Yes, so we have hello and goodbye. Both of those work the way that we expect. Great. Okay, extra credit, using a custom component with React create element. So far, we've only used React create element, some string, but actually this isn't quite, some string. But the first argument to React create element can also be a function which returns something that's renderable. It's also, just side note, that's so cool. So instead of calling your message function, pass it as the first argument to React create element and pass the children object as the second argument. Okay, so we're kind of making our own React here. Okay, cool. So the first argument will be the element we want to render as, right? Is that what it's asking? Hold on a second. I don't think that's what it's asking me to do right now, but let's see. Okay, so far we've only React string can also be a function which returns something that's renderable. So instead of calling your message function, pass it as a first argument to React create element. I'm confused by this assignment. Pass it as a first argument to React create element and pass the children object as a second argument. Okay. So I guess I'm backtracking a little bit. We're not backtracking a little bit. So we're not calling this. I think we're supposed to call React dot create element. And here pass it as, good Lord, I don't understand what it's asking me. Does anyone understand what this is saying? I'm feeling real stupid right now. I don't know what, like, I know that if I knew what it was asking me, I could get there, but I don't know what it's asking me to do. Also be a function which returns, okay. So far, we've only used React create, okay, starting from the beginning. Extra credit, 100%. Using a custom component with React create element. So far, we've only used React create element some string. Okay, maybe I need to look at, maybe I didn't fully do assignment number 1. So let's look at, so confused right now. Okay, so what's the assignment for this? Okay, so we're using calling message. This is not being used as a component. We're not quite there yet. Okay, yes. Okay, this is what we have. So we're taking children. Yes. Okay, cool. So what is it asking me to do? Okay, is it talking about, talking about this one? Okay, yes. No. Okay, let's get back to this state. Message. What's up, Anthony? You've joined at a very interesting time where I'm just not even understanding a question in this tutorial. So if you could help me understand, I know that sometimes I just don't read English right. So yeah. Okay, so default says, I think it wants react.create element message. Okay. Okay, let's try that. So, but yeah, so it's like we've created this function, but then I guess we're no longer going to use it. Okay. React dot create element. Okay, message, and then children. Okay, I think that matches up. Okay, so React dot create element message children. Okay, that should match up too. Okay, so create element. We're going to give it a function message. Okay. Okay, no problems there. Okay. Hello world. Okay. Interesting. I'm still like I'm having trouble. Okay. Okay, I think I need to go through the next step to understand why we're doing this. uh, okay, exercise. Um, okay, use a custom component, React element. So far, we've used. Okay. So instead of calling your message function, so we're not calling the message function. Oh, we're just sending the message function. Which got it. Okay, yes, default. Thank you for helping me through that painful misunderstanding of the question. Okay. Um, it is very odd though. I mean, just kind of like it is odd. It is odd. This is super weird. Um, I mean, important for understanding. It's just it's an odd leap. I think, um, for my brain. For my brain. Okay, so using a custom component with JSX. Okay, so we're so close. Just like using JSX for a regular div. Divs is nicer than using raw React.create element. API using JSX for custom components is nicer too. Remember that it's Babel that's responsible for taking our JSX and compiling it to React.create element calls. So we just need a way to tell Babel how to compile our JSX. So it passes the function by its name rather than its string. How we do this by how the JSX appears. Here are a few examples of Babel output for JSX. Capitalize, property access. Oh, cool. I love that he enumerates all of these. That's super cool. That's awesome. This is a really great, it's actually a really great chart because this also kind of like facilitates some understanding around different ways that people kind of package up React components, um, context stuff. This is great. So if you can change your component function name so people can oh wait, no, so I didn't actually do anything. Let's see. So we can do this JSX. Here's how. Okay, cool. So what we're looking for then is this, which is going to create React element of um, this function. Now, I'm unclear though. Actually, let's look at it. If they want me to rename message to make it work like this, because I think that is the only way that we'd be able to do that. Because if we do, so like if I do, let's see, if I do message right here, it's just going to come out as a message element, right? Oops. Yeah, message. Also, really clever way to add this having to solve for the string thing here as well, just by making them spans. Oh, nope, we had message. Goodbye message. Okay. So if we do this, it will look like it worked, kind of. Oh, except, yeah. Actually, no, it clearly did not work because it's going to be these message elements, which I think are effectively spans. They're like inline elements. So they are no longer divs. And what we need to do, I mean, what I would do is change this to an uppercase message. I don't know if that's what it's asking me to do, though. Okay. Let's see. So we're so close. Just okay. See if you can change your component function name. Oh, yeah. Change so people can use it in JSX more easily. Okay. Yes. Yes, we did that. Let's check that. So we have, what is that? Extra credit 2. Extra credit number 2. Yes. Okay. So change the message. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Let's go to extra credit 3. This is going to be This is gonna be the last of it. Okay. Yeah, really look forward to a post Babel React world. Yeah, it kind of feels like. I mean, I guess I'm curious, like where you think it's headed. It feels like TypeScript is kind of the place to do that. TSX or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this chart is like, this is a fire diagram right here, or example list right here. Um, like super important, especially like these subtle differences, right? Where it's like if we use uh kebab case, it'll use this as a string, but then if we use snake case, it calls it as a component. Um, I've never used either of these, but that's really interesting, and I think it kind of makes, let's see, lower, yeah, and then lower snake case, it calls it as a string. So like this is really interesting, right? Because like, in this case, so in this case, you're working with DOM elements, right? In this case, you could theoretically be doing a custom element because those have dashes in them. These, we're gonna get it off of an object or like some kind of like module to object transformation when you're importing it. We can't use this type of access um, component. That makes sense. These, I don't. Again, I've never used these, but I guess it makes sense that this is uppercase. It's legal. It's a legal JavaScript name, so it makes sense that this is a component. This is not a functionable name in JavaScript, so it makes sense that this is goes to a string. Um, and then lowercase, I guess, just kind of same logic as elements. Um, though I don't know if you could make a custom element like this. This one, it feels to me like it just follows the other patterns of like it's not capitalized, and it is JavaScript. You could name a function this, or let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this would be practical, except for I guess you have to make a decision one way or another. Let's see. Let's see. SWC seems most likely to supersede it. Okay, it's all about screaming snake case. I should try that sometime. I have not used screaming snake case, but that, it's actually interesting because there has been like a lot of discussion recently about snake case being more legible than camel case, which actually camel case we have capitalized, but we don't have an example of camel case. I think that most often we see like camel case where like the next word in this would be capitalized, but there has been a lot of talk recently on Twitter about how the snake case is actually extremely more legible. So this is interesting. This is definitely not idiomatic. This is not the way that any component that I've ever seen in the real world is named, but it's totally legal and probably easier to read. So maybe you could start a trend. Oh man. Oh, whew. That would be angry mobs at your door. Let's see. Totally gonna start saying functionable instead of functional. Yeah, functionable. I've always hated the term functional. Like, oh, okay, so your component works, I guess. Stupid. Um, See, I think you need both screaming snake case is good for mvars, and then you need something else to distinguish from them from. Okay, cool. Okay, let's get these out. Okay. Oh, yep, yep. Over my 90 minutes, so I'm gonna try to get these last two really quick, and then we'll do we have, what is it, 7 of these? Yeah. So I think I'm gonna, just FYI, I think I'm gonna do another one of these on Tuesday. I'm gonna try to do Tuesdays and Thursdays for these. But I want to get as far as I can on like through these. So runtime validation with prop types. Let's change the message component a little bit, making it look like function message. Okay, so this is kind of doing what the extra credit in 2 was. Oh, except now we have a subject. So it's assuming that we made that change, subject and greeting. I'm just going to copy and paste this part because it is not an important part of this. Okay. Subject, greeting. Okay. And then change our children to use these props. Again, this is just typing. So I'm going to skip this for our time today. Now, I actually, a little bit of a rant right here. I actually don't like this step. This is something that we do in React a lot, where we kind of add this step where we have these simple props. And honestly, they're just better as children. Like, I really do think that like passing these along just to be composed as children is kind of the root of all evil in React. Like, I actually have a whole talk on this. Jan.dev/talks. Is it up there? Let's see. Yes, it's this one. I don't know which of these is better. There's 3 of them, but it's called the most expensive React component and how to stop writing it. You may like to watch this because it talks about exactly this. Like you go to reactjs.org, and the first component you see is this hello message greeting component, and it shows you how to not use children, which is the most kind of like that's the masterwork of like HTML, and like using children is really what unlocks so many important things in React and keeps so much of your code reusable. And so like I just hate that we always do this. We're like, oh hey, just use props and then like compose in children, which this is worse. I understand why it's important to teach, and there aren't really great options to show props. I don't know. I'm curious. But yeah, I'd hate that we do that. Okay, now I have to tab through all my tabs because, oh wait, no, close that. It's all right. We're almost done because I totally hosed my sidebar keyboard shortcut. Okay, so what happens if I forget to pass the greeting or subject props? It's not going to render properly. We'll end up with a dangling comma somewhere. It would be nice if we got some sort of indication that we're passing the wrong value to the component. This is what prop types feature is for. Here's an example. Okay, so prop types. Okay, so this is kind of interesting as well, because we're jumping into prop types. You know what, man, I may not be able to get through all of these. Yeah, so this is really interesting as well, because I don't know if I would do prop types here, right? Because I mean, I don't think people really use prop types anymore. I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I don't really think, if anything, like default props is probably, or I guess what are we talking about, validation, right? I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to leave this. There's a lot going on here, so I think I'm gonna have to leave this for next time because I gotta go. Sorry about the sidebar. No, that's totally my bad. There's so many things going on with the me not being able to kind of figure out how to change it, and then also the kind of the fact that it's not recognizing the right key on my keyboard layout. How could you have known? Okay, cool. I'm gonna call it. We'll come back to this. We'll finish off or lesson 4 and whatever next time we hang out. So yes, so I think I'm gonna try to do lesson 4 next week on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are usually good. Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe I'll try to do that type of thing. I just want to leave you with one thing. If let's see, twitter.com. No wait, let's go to youtube.com/honeypot.io. Right? Okay, so tomorrow the React documentary goes live. You should really check it out. I'm on the wrong view. The React documentary goes live. It will be at, I think, right and half an hour before this time right now, and whatever your time zone is. So 10 a.m. Pacific time. Um, it's super good. It's super fun. I think it's going to be shown as a premiere on this YouTube channel. I'll be there hanging out in chat. I think a lot of the React core team are going to be there hanging out in chat. I think there's an event later where you can actually talk with the React core team. But yes, this is going to be the cool thing that happens tomorrow. So I definitely, it's going to be good. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you hanging out with me and kind of going through this course stuff with me. And I do hope it was valuable for you. And yeah, look forward to seeing you again next time. And if you know anybody who's trying to learn React and wants to kind of go through this open source material, let them know, and we can go through it together. Anyway, that is it. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm gonna find this end button so it's not awkward. Okay, there we go. I have it. Okay. Bye. I'll see you later.